Contrary to popular belief, there's no sign that a marriage is over. There are signs that your marriage is in trouble and that it should probably be looked into or fixed, but there's no sign that the marriage is over and absolutely can't be saved. Huh? How can I say this? But what if my husband has had an affair multiple times? What if my wife has left and she's not coming back? She won't even talk to me. What if we just have two completely different personalities and we married the wrong people? Or what if fill in the blank? Whatever it might be, there are signs that your marriage might be in trouble, but we believe at Marriage Helper that any marriage can be saved no matter what the current situation is, or no matter what has happened in the past. A lot of times when people are looking for signs that their marriage is over, many times they walk away feeling more discouraged than ever before, because while they're looking to see if maybe their marriage is falling into this pattern, into this ultimate reality, this outcome that they don't want, and they're fearful because they don't want their marriage to be over, but then they read an article or they hear a podcast or whatever it might be, and every single thing is applying to their marriage, and it's easy to give up hope. But at Marriage Helper, we believe that any marriage can be saved, and we believe that any person can be rescued. So for just a second, I want you to take whatever preconceived notions you have about your situation or about your marriage and how absolutely hopeless it might feel. And for just a couple of minutes, I want you to think like there's hope. Believe that maybe there could be hope for your marriage as I walk you through these 3 things to consider if you're thinking your marriage might be over. And if you're wanting more specifics on what your exact situation is, whether there's been affairs or addictions or personality differences, communication problems, whatever it is, go ahead and like and subscribe to our Marriage Helper channel, where you'll find playlists and categories of tons of other information that can help you with your specific situation. Okay, so now that you've liked and subscribed, here's question number 1. Is your spouse a good person? Maybe if your spouse is in the middle of doing something that is bad right now, maybe they're in the middle of an affair or in the middle of a gambling addiction or whatever it might be, ask yourself, is my spouse a good person who's currently doing a bad thing? But at the core of who they are they a good person? Because if your spouse is a good person, then they deserve to be rescued, and your marriage has a shot at making it work. Of the thousands of couples that we've worked with here at Marriage Helper, and we've helped the worst of situations, the craziest of situations, to have their marriages saved, we see that 99% of people are good people. They really are. They've just lost their way, or life has taken them in a place where they didn't want to go and they wish that they weren't there now, but they need help being rescued and coming back to it. So that's question 1. Is your spouse a good person? Question 2. What have you tried so far to try and make your marriage work? A lot of people, when they first encounter that resistance with their marriage, when problems start to arise, and especially if they continue to happen year after year, maybe even decade after decade, they begin to say, you know what, we just weren't meant to be. So a lot of times, people don't really try anything. There's this belief in society that we should just marry the right person, and when we marry the right person, things so easily fall into place. That's not the reality, but since that's what society seems to be teaching us, it seems that when we first run into that resistance, we think, well, made the wrong decision, we just need to cut our losses, start over in a relationship that's going to be better for us, and that's going to be the solution to our problems. But unfortunately, that isn't what ends up happening. Even if you do divorce now, you're going to have problems with the next person, because every marriage has problems. No marriage is perfect, and that's because marriage is composed of 2 people who are flawed. There's no perfect marriage, but you can learn how to make your current marriage one that is fulfilling, that is satisfying, that's that reaction, that soul mate love that people talk about that you have been looking for. So I want to encourage you to try something. And maybe you're thinking, well, we have tried stuff. We've been to counselors, therapists, weekend retreats, whatever it might be, and nothing has worked. Well, I want to encourage you that many people have gone to counselors or weekend retreats that really just hit surface level issues and never get down to the core issue of what's going on. So if you feel like maybe you haven't had a great experience with counselors or with retreats or whatever that might be, I want to encourage you to find a place, either a counselor or a workshop or something like that, that's going to get to the core of your issues and not just that surface level stuff that's easier to deal with. Really try. Make sure that you have tried everything that you can before you decide to give up on the marriage. And then finally, have you thought about how divorce will affect your future? Now, I'm not saying that you should stay married because you fear divorce. That's not the kind of marriage I want you to have, and I'm sure that's not the kind of marriage you want to have either. But I am asking, have you thought of all of the ways that divorce will affect you? The financial ramifications, the consequences it has on family and friends and even children, even the way it's going to affect you emotionally. Have you thought all those things through? We don't want you making any rash decisions out of your current feelings, and you're not thinking about how your current feelings and actions are going to affect you in 10 days or 10 weeks, 10 months, even 10 years. Be sure that you're thinking all of these things through. And you may be saying, okay, well, maybe I don't want the divorce. Maybe it's my husband or my wife who's wanting the divorce. Then isn't that a sign that the marriage is over? And the answer is no. Just because your spouse wants a divorce does not mean that your marriage is over, and it absolutely doesn't mean that you should give up standing for your marriage. In fact, at Marriage Helper, this is our specialty. We love giving encouragement and advice and tools to the spouses who are standing for their marriage even when their spouse is completely disengaged. We can help you. We can give you tools, resources. We can tell you more about our coaching and our workshops that we have. But more than anything, I want you to know there's hope for your marriage. So let me ask you this question. What have you tried so far for your marriage? Comment below. We would love to hear about what's worked and what hasn't worked for you. We'd also love for you to like and subscribe to this channel, and we would love to give you hope for your marriage and your situation. Visit us at marriagehelper.com, give our team a call at 866-903-0990, and we hope to help you save your marriage.